Welcome back to the Red Devils Report. I'm going to be straight with you. If you're a Manchester United fan right now, the injury board is giving us nightmares. Leny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt, Patrick Dorgu, three of our most important defenders all out. And we've got Brentford at Old Trafford on Monday. But here's the thing, Michael Carrick's side just went to Stamford Bridge and beat Chelsea 1-0 with a makeshift backline. Aidan Heaven and Nusser Mazraoui as our centre-back pairing. And we won. So today we are breaking down every single injury, what happened, where we are now, and crucially, when each player might return. Stay with me because this one matters. Subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. First, United are in a brilliant position to qualify for the Champions League. We bounced back from the Leeds defeat. Kobbie Mainoo returned against Chelsea and came through unscathed. That's huge, and Harry Maguire is back from suspension for the Brentford clash, so there are reasons to be optimistic. But the defensive situation remains genuinely alarming. At one point against Chelsea, Carrick had virtually no senior recognised centre-back available. Maguire suspended, Martinez suspended, Yoro crocked, de Ligt long-term. That is a crisis by any measure. Carrick himself acknowledged it before kick-off at the Bridge. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that it's part of football that the squad is generally in decent shape, but that the combination of suspensions and injuries suddenly left them very short at centre-back. Credit to him, he adapted brilliantly. Let's start with the freshest blow. Leny Yoro, the 20-year-old Frenchman, was ruled out on the eve of the Chelsea game. No warning, no build-up. Just unavailable the night before the match. Carrick's words were guarded but not panicked. He said, quote, "Hopefully it's only small." That tells us two things. One, it is not the same catastrophic injury Yoro suffered earlier in his career. And two, they genuinely weren't sure of the severity in that moment. Now, here is the good news. The potential return date being floated is Monday, April 27th. That is the Brentford home game. If Yoro comes through this week in training without setback, he could slot straight back in. That would be massive. He's been one of our best players under Carrick, composed, dominant in the air, and reads the game like someone 10 years older. The worry, of course, is rushing him. Yoro's injury history means United's medical staff will be very careful. They will not push him onto that pitch unless he is truly ready. So monitor the team news on Sunday closely, and if Yoro's name appears in training photos, that's a good sign. At his age, with his quality, Yoro represents the future of this club's defence. Every week he plays is a week of development we desperately need. Let's hope small truly means small. Matthijs de Ligt. This one is the most concerning. De Ligt has now been sidelined for almost 5 full months. 5 months. He suffered a lower back injury during the Crystal Palace win back on November the 30th under Ruben Amorim, and he has not featured since. Initially, Amorim promised a swift return. That did not happen. The injury has proved stubborn and complex, and De Ligt remains in rehabilitation. He has not returned to full first-team training yet. Carrick has been honest about this one, and the honesty is actually quite alarming if you read between the lines. He has raised concerns publicly that De Ligt could miss the remainder of the season entirely, and potentially the Summer World Cup with the Netherlands. Think about that. The World Cup. For De Ligt personally, this must be devastating. He joined United with enormous expectations, had a stop-start first season, and now he's watching from the rehab room as his club chases Champions League qualification and his country prepares for a World Cup. That is really tough. From United's perspective, losing De Ligt for the season is a body blow. He has the experience and the defensive intelligence that Yoro and the younger players are still developing. When fit, that partnership was one of the best in the division. Right now, unknown return date. That is the honest answer, and we should not sugarcoat it. What this also means is that United's summer transfer window planning around the defensive line becomes even more critical. If De Ligt's back issue is longer term than hoped, does the club need to invest in another senior centre-back? We'll revisit that in a future video. Link in the description when it's up. Patrik Dorgu. Now let's talk about Patrik Dorgu, because this injury has felt particularly cruel given the timing. The Danish wide man came out of nowhere under Carrick. 2 games in, he was arguably our best player. He scored a stunning goal in the 3-2 win over Arsenal. He'd already netted in the Manchester derby. He was electric off the left, direct, fearless, technically sharp. United fans were genuinely excited, and then chasing a ball over the top at the Emirates, he pulled his hamstring and went down, just like that. The initial assessment was at least 10 weeks out. There had been some hope, cautious hope, that he might have been available for Leeds or Chelsea. Carrick has now firmly closed the door on that. He said before the Chelsea game that Dorgu is going well, rehabbing well, on track, but not with us in training yet. He did add the positive that Dorgu is back on the pitch doing pitch-based rehab work, which is a genuine step forward. The target return window is May. Given that the season runs until mid-May, that means Dorgu could potentially feature in the final 2 or 3 matches. If everything goes to plan and there are no setbacks, for a player with his momentum, that matters enormously. You want him getting game time, building rhythm, heading into pre-season fit and firing. The Dorgu situation also illustrates a broader point about United's squad depth, or the lack of it in certain positions. When one player goes down, it genuinely changes the shape of the team. That is something Carrick and the recruitment team will be very aware of heading into the summer. So where does that leave us heading into the Brentford game? Potentially with Maguire back and Yoro available, which gives Carrick 2 senior centre-backs and options. Martinez returns from suspension too, so the defensive core looks far healthier than it did on the eve of Chelsea. Brentford beat United earlier this season at the G-Tech Community Stadium, and United will be desperate for revenge. A win puts us in a commanding position for the top 4. The players know it, Carrick knows it, and I think this team, even with its injury issues, has more than enough to get the job done at Old Trafford. The story of this United team under Carrick has been resilience, adapting, finding solutions when the obvious ones aren't available. A makeshift back 3 beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge is not luck, that's organisation, mentality, and a head coach who clearly knows how to set a team up defensively. The injury situation will resolve itself. Yoro should be back soon. Dorgu is targeting May, and even De Ligt, when he returns, still gives United a quality option. The question is whether the timing works before the season ends. We will keep you posted on every development right here on this channel. That is your full injury update. Yoro, De Ligt, Dorgu, everything you need to know before Monday's game. Drop a comment below. Do you think United can finish top 4 even with this injury crisis? I read every single one. Give this video a like if it helped, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.